Hey guys, welcome to F1 Podcast. Do you remember us? It's been a little while since our last video. Let's just introduce ourselves, Max, so in case they've forgotten who we are.
I'm Max.
I'm Pev, and we're not dead. We've had a little bit of a break since our last video, so thanks very much for tuning in, Max. There's been so much happening in Formula One.
It sure has, and not all of it good for Formula One, but great for the fans.
Yeah, we've had Webber in the news pretty much constantly since flipping his car in Valencia, and that was spectacular. And then, the most recent British Grand Prix. So we've had heaps of Mark Webber news, mate.
Sure have.
What's your thoughts on the state of F1 at the moment?
It's very interesting. I think we'd all agree that we're having a wonderful time at the moment. The top four cars are two McLarens and two Red Bulls, and
yep.
I think it's undisputed that the Red Bull at the moment is the quicker car, but it would appear that our friends at McLaren are doing a wonderful job, and good to see that Lewis is up there and Jensen behind him, and then followed by Mark and Sebastian.
Mate, what I've been loving is all the technical wars that have been going on. A lot of you guys maybe just like the racing, but there's plenty of people like me, Max, who love blown diffusers, F-ducts, and aerodynamic changes. I've been loving the battles going on, mate, with teams bringing on new bits to their car, and that was shown spectacularly in the British Grand Prix with the new bit that Red Bull had, and there's been all sorts of controversy about that, mate, so maybe we should talk about that before we talk about Webber's victory in the race, because it started before the race really, and it happened during sort of practice and qualifying that Red Bull took the decision to give Seb Mark's wing, the new wing. What's your thoughts, mate? There's been heaps of press about it.
There certainly has been, and the argument that's been made, I guess, is that Sebastian was further ahead in the championship than Mark, so he should get the good bit of kit. Interesting that Seb's wing failed, and then the decision was made, well, oh, that's all right, Mark's still got the new one, so we'll take it off his car, tell him to suck eggs, and we'll put it on Seb's car, and we'll put the old wing on his car. I thought that was interesting, and again, the justification for that was, well, Seb was higher up in the championship, had more points than Mark, so the spoil should go to him. Could you imagine, how would you feel sitting in the RB6 and you've qualified well, and prior to qualifying, someone says, sorry Mark, before you go out, we've just got to take your front wing off. Oh, sorry Pep, we've just got to take your front wing off and give it to Max, and you'll deal with the old one.
Yeah, it's a pretty unusual circumstance as well for a team to bring enough just for one car. I mean, I think they had two wings there, but it is unusual, I think, to do that and having to make that call. It's not something that you want to do, every Grand Prix, Max. You want to be able to bring enough for both cars all the time. And
this is the thing.
They didn't.
Well, this is the thing. I look at it and think, well, hang on. Sebastian had one and Mark had one. Sebastian's failed. Okay.
And so Seb has two and Mark has zero.
So, yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I loved Sir Sterling Moss's comments. Well, if they had turned around and... the decision they should have made was, okay, Seb's wings failed. So, either... Mark hasn't broken his, so he can go out in his, or... take both wings off the cars and give them the old wings. Both of them the old wings. More to the point.
I saw a very long interview with Christian Horner on the GPUpdate.net website, Max, and he went through. It is, and he went through very carefully and slowly exactly what happened. And I've got to say that it is a tough decision for a team to make. For them to do that, to put a component on one car or another. And I fully expect now that the team is going to be true to their word now that Mark Webber is leading the World Championship, that if it happens again that Mark Webber will have that opportunity. So, it's not just a Seb decision, it's a decision based off the fact that Seb was higher up in the World Championship. So, we'll see, mate. Favouritism stuff's been rampant over the internet.
Yeah, and I think with good reason. When you look at it, Sebastian's part of the Red Bull Young Driver program. Mark was never part of the Red Bull Young Driver program. And they've invested a lot of money in this kid, and it's the worst kept secret in the paddock really that Seb's clearly the number one driver of Red Bull. And a lot of you might say, well, and so we should be. Well, maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But the results speak for themselves. And it reminds me of the Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton.
You reckon that?
Ill-fated year where I think that Alonso expected to dominate Hamilton, and he didn't. And I think Seb's probably expected to dominate Webber this year, and he hasn't.
So you think like all the drama around that season, when you think about that season, you think so much about that drama between the two.
Yeah, I can draw.
And this season, whoever wins, it's going to be the same thing. The big drama between the two Red Bull drivers.
Yeah, I can draw a lot of parallels between the two seasons, and make of that what you will. Sebastian's an excellent driver and an explosive driver, and Mark this year has had the tools, as he did last year. He's had the tools this year to show what he's made of, and I think it's a bit of a surprise, not only to Sebastian, but to a lot of people in the Red Bull organisation and Formula One as a whole. Now, I say that knowing full well that everyone knows that the RB6 is probably the best car out there at the moment, but you've still got to drive it, and I think Mark's driving better than a lot of people thought he would have.
Yeah, well, we're talking about it a lot because it's, when we talked about what we were going to do in this video, Max, we both agreed it's all been about the Red Bull story over the last couple of weeks. It's just dominated F1. And Mark Webber sort of put fuel on the fire a little bit with his not bad for a number 2 driver comment, and I just knew that he was doing that to make things more public, and he knew that would make Christian Horner accountable, and that there'd be lots of sort of difficult questions around that, Max.
Yeah.
I think now he sort of stepped back a little bit and said, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that, heat of the moment kind of thing. And, I'm a big believer in keeping these things private. I think it was a heat of the moment kind of comment from Webber. But geez, it stirred up a hornet's nest.
Sure did, mate. And I think it was a culmination of a lot of frustration. Not only, let's be honest, it wasn't over just the change of the front wing. It's a combination of a few things that have gone on, in particular the accident that he and Sebastian had. And yes, Mark was letting off steam. I'm inclined to agree with you. Keep that stuff in-house where possible, but I think, being an Australian myself, I know we blow our fuses occasionally, mate. But I think Mark did that. It was a sarcastic comment. So be it, but yes, probably should not have been said and better kept in-house, I guess. But
yeah, create a little bit of drama. I mean, we all love a little bit of drama in F1, but he shouldn't have done it pretty much.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah. So, mate, he won the British Grand Prix. It was great to see him on that start into Turn 1.
Fantastic start.
Yeah, he finally got a really good start off the dirty side and just dominated the whole race. And I wanted to get your thoughts, Max, actually, about the new layout. What you thought about the new Silverstone layout?
Not bad. They could have screwed it up even more. I don't mind it, but I'm a fan of the old layout, mate, to be honest. It was... a little bit more smooth and a little bit more flowing for me, the old setup.
And the loss of Bridge Corner as well was a bit tough,
That's
losing Bridge, a great corner in F1.
That's a big one to swallow, that one. But it could have been worse, mate, to be honest. But I like the old configuration, but not too bad.
Yeah, I was pretty much the same, Max. I didn't mind the new configuration. I thought it offered some interesting corners. I like the fact that it brought in another straight and a good braking zone at the end of that straight. So I didn't mind it. I did notice, of course, like everyone, the bumps, and the drivers have been complaining about the bumps. I don't know why those bumps are there, but I'm sure it's pretty easily fixed. I didn't mind it, Max. So it was great to see Webber win that race. And now, of course, we've got the situation with Red Bull doing so well in qualifying. And just killing them in qualifying, but McLaren leading both world championships, and we're moving on to Hockenheim.
One of my favourites.
Yes, I was reading this morning about Michael getting all emotional about racing back in Germany.
Was he crying, Pep, or is it okay?
Alright guys, leave us your comments and we'll see you soon for the next video.
Alright guys, bye.
Bye.